Well, hello there! I'm Gilgamesh, and it's been a long while since the last stream. Actually 2 weeks, right? So yeah, we're gonna play Crash Bandicoot, the N.Sane Trilogy once again today. I think we only have one of 3 games left, which is Crash Bandicoot Warped, of course, the third part of the trilogy. If I remember correctly. And for those who haven't been around for a while, we've already finished this story in this one. So we're only gonna 108% it, I think it is, right? The maximum percentage of this game. So yeah, as you can see, last time we defeated Cortex, as it seems. I have absolutely no memory of this. Yeah, so I got myself a new controller, actually. It's an Xbox Elite Series controller. I still have my Nintendo Switch Pro controller over here, but I really wasn't that content with the D-pad for games like Crash. Yeah, Crash 3. To be honest, I'm not looking forward to this that much, because I kind of want to get it over it and start new games, exciting games. I've played Crash so much for the last half a year. I really want to do something else, but yeah, I promise we're gonna do it, so we're gonna do it. We're gonna do 108% if I remember correctly. For this we need to get all of the crystals, which of course we already have, since we finished the story of the game. We need to get all of the gems, of which we still have some to get, I'm pretty sure. And we need to get all of the, at least, gold time trial relics, if I remember correctly. There are platinum relics. We will do our best to get them, but we'll probably not do so for all levels. Actually, we did a little more than I thought we would have done in this game. Actually, how many of the relics have we already gotten? 10. Okay, so we have gotten 10 to unlock. I think we unlocked the yellow gem by having 5 relics, I think. And then 1 additional level with 10. I'm not exactly sure, to be honest. Don't remember what my thinking was with getting exactly 10. But yeah, alright, as you can see, we have 23 more gems to get, 1 more colored gem also as well, I think that's the blue one, and 21 more relics to go. Alright, I've talked enough, let's start. Actually I think I do want to get that blue gem first, right? So that we have all of the colored gems. And don't need to... I think it's in Tomb Raider, right? If I remember correctly. I think Tomb Raider is in this timeline. It's been a long while since I've played this game. No, that's not Tomb Raider. That's also not Tomb Raider. No. That's Sphynxinator, damn it. Okay, I guess it was actually in the third warp room. I did watch the the speedrun of Crash 2 on SGDQ. Was phenomenal, and I'm just like, oh yeah, ooh, yeah. Come on, where's Tomb Raider? Just in the Lost. Is it actually in the Lost warp room? Oh, there it is. But at least I was right that this one actually holds the blue gem. How do we get it? Oh, just death route? Okay, easy. Why didn't we get it last time then? I don't know. Okay, it's been a while. So yeah, I did want to get a new controller for the main reason of using a better D-pad, so I maybe should make use of the D-pad. Oh, it's actually pretty good. Yeah, I just realized I don't need to destroy all of the boxes. I think we already did that. We just need to get the blue gem. It's really weird to play this game with an Xbox controller and not a PlayStation controller. Of course, the original Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped was released on PlayStation 1. Yeah. Don't want to die here. I think we could go for it, but I'm not gonna risk it. Because of course if we die, the skull platform will not be present. And we will not be able to get the blue gem for what we're here for. But once we've stepped onto the platform, it won't disappear if you die, so we can die as many times as we want. Until of course we're out of lives, which is only 54, really? Wow. Okay. Uh-oh. I was also confused with when we played Crash 2 how little lives we actually had, right? What? Because, you know, I'm kinda used to having 99 lives in all of these Crash games. So either I just got worse over the years. Or they probably just removed some lives in the remake, right? That's just less lives in the remake. That's gotta be a reason. Ooh, that was kinda close, the reason. Gotta love the soundtrack of all of the Crash games. So good. There it is. Alright, I'm pretty sure we already got the normal gem in here, so we don't need to death warp back to the beginning to get all of the boxes. Alright, and now we go back to the very first, well, not the very first level, but the very first warp room, where I think, if I remember correctly, there was one gem missing. Yeah, stop your little dance, come on. Oops. For some reason, the same button that is used for dashing in all of the inside of the levels, outside of the level in the warp room, you switch characters, which is confusing, because in the original you were able to crash dash in the warp room. So I'm always tempted to press the button and then we just switch between Coco. Actually, why are we playing as Crash? Hello, Coco. Sorry, I kinda messed it up. So this seems to be... I'm pretty sure that is... yeah, that's probably the red gem path that we're missing here. We probably didn't have that one when we first did this level. Right? Which is a little... I'm not exactly sure, to be honest, if it is the... Can we see if the missing gem in here? I don't think we can. If the missing gem is actually the red path gem, or if it is the box gem. Of course, the condition of having a gem path appear is to have collected a gem beforehand in another level, so we don't need to get to the gem platform without dying. But of course we would still prefer to do so. TNT. It's TNT. It's dynamite. Dynamite. That's actually the name of a level in this game. Fun fact. Kill the creeper from the swamp. And there we go. That's the red gem platform. Okay, that's kind of interesting. There's in some, as you can see, there is these checkpoints that are actually metal platforms. Of course, usually checkpoints are wooden platforms, not platforms, boxes, wooden boxes. But the developers didn't want you to have to do this path to get all of the boxes, but they still wanted you to be able to, wanted to be able to get. Yeah, that was a bait. To be able to have checkboxes in here. So to have checkboxes that you don't need to smash for the boxes gem, they just put in metal checkboxes. Checkboxes, checkpoints. Maybe I shouldn't crash dash. But of course, running faster makes it harder to react to what's spawning on the bottom of the screen. And of course, I'm not by any means someone like all of the awesome speedrunners on Summer Games Done Quick, who have played their games, you know, like for thousands. I spun? Come on! I pressed the button. But I guess I have to do it earlier. What I want to say is, I don't know any of these levels by heart, so I'm really just, you know, even though I have played this game as a kid multiple times, and I've also played through the N.Sane Trilogy already once when it came out for PlayStation 4, I don't remember any of this level. I mean, it's also the same design as, of course, the other Dino Chase levels, right? So it's really just reacting to whatever is on the bottom of the screen. I still would kind of like to... Phew. Big jump there. I still would love to one day... Oh, come on, double jump. The pain of my Crash life. If you've seen my Crash 4... If you haven't seen my Crash 4 playthrough, I ranted about the double jump there for many times. I think this one in the older levels, older games... Well, actually, this one from Crash 3, because it wasn't in the original release of Crash 1 or Crash 2, right? It's a lot more strict than the one in Crash 4. When in Crash 4 you can basically jump a second time whenever you want, in any state of your current jump while being mid-air. I think here in Crash 3 you can only double jump during the upwards movement of your first jump. Not that I would have tested it, but that's what I remember, and that's what also I think I have read, right? I can test it now. Yeah, so as soon as you... No, actually, never mind. It's just... Well, it's pretty lenient. Okay, never mind what I said. At least it doesn't apply for the N.Sane Trilogy, it seems. Maybe it did apply to the original. I don't know, it's been a while since I've played the original. I'm actually pretty happy that we don't have to do the time trials in those. I mean, time trials aren't nearly as difficult, as bad, as tedious as the ones in Crash 4. But still... It's been a while since I've played the game. I don't wanna, you know, bore everyone with just having to play the same level over and over because I don't make the time. Done all of this already? Aye. Ah, tomb time. Alright, we need to get both of the gems here. There might actually be I think there is a blue gem path here that you need to traverse and destroy boxes and then go back and then do the normal path again, so... Let's see if I'm correct about this one. Alright, now of course, since we're running forward again, we can... Oh yeah. Do the Coco Dash again. Just remembered that Goomba fruits in the original games aren't collected automatically. Aren't being collected automatically, like in Crash 4. Oh, I really... No, now that I've watched... Actually, I'm still watching SGDQ. Because I only realized, like, halfway through that, you know, it was actually going on right now. Also, I had to work, of course, so couldn't really watch it live. But I think there was so many interesting games this year. Oh well, this summer. For me, at least. I mean, there's different opinions about what games are interesting to look at, right? Of course. I guess you probably have to go up there, right? Yeah. That was stupid. Yes, I really... It really tickled my, you know... It's really tickling me to just play Crash 4 a little more and dump some hours into any presenting Crash 4 and just see how it is to actually be practicing a game over and over again, because I've never really done that. At least not the exact... I mean, of course, I've like, I don't know, 20,000 hours in Final Fantasy XIV, probably. Or maybe not that many, but I for sure have 20,000 hours in World of Warcraft, for example. But of course, it's always new content there, and not just the same thing over and over again. Some people would say. So yeah, just, you know, just grinding out whatever you want to do, practicing grinding and grinding. It's just not really something I usually do. Well, good evening to you, sir. Kaios282. If you are an actual viewer. So yeah, grinding, you know, grinding the same game over and over isn't usually what I do. You're my biggest fan. Well, you know, if that's true, then that's probably not so hard to do, because you're probably the only one, right? So, but thanks for pointing it out. I've also never seen you on stream before, so hard to think you're not trolling, but thanks for the vibes, I guess. So yeah, as I said before, grinding games isn't really my thing, which is why I've never really done it before. But you know, seeing people go at GDQ and stuff, something I'm gonna say like, wow, I really would like to be doing that as well. But when I then hear that, for example, the guy that played, what was it? The Little Mermaid, was like, oh yeah, I've played this game for like over 10,000 times. It's like, okay. Well, it was a very short game. It was, I think, like, the run was like 8 minutes or something. So it's probably a little different if you do a run that is, come on, move, Coco, please. Thank you. That goes on for, I think any percenting Crash 4 is a little more than 1 hour. I think the world record is like 1 hour and 15 minutes or so. I think now I have to go back. Now the question is, do I go back from here, or do I go back the other route? Why do they immediately double jump? Interesting. I think I go back here, because we already defeated all of the enemies here. Thanks for retracting those spears. Ah! It ate my input. Wait, it wasn't. There was no checkpoint, right? I don't like that. Okay. I thought we had a checkpoint, but yeah, of course it was. I think it was just an exclamation box. I realized that while playing on PC, and I wonder if it is like an input lag on PC, or just controllers in general on Windows. I don't know. But it feels like a lot of inputs are getting eaten. Oh well, they're not really getting eaten. It's really just that there's. That was me. That was my stupidity. It's really just like, I feel I jump on the right moment, but the game doesn't think so. I mean, of course, I might just be wrong. But yeah. Come on, go away. I had a... Come on. God, I hate the physics on this oily ground or whatever it is. It just keeps your momentum into any direction. Come on, please, spawn a little faster. Oh yeah, it was. For some reason I thought this exclamation box there would be a checkpoint. Maybe there's a checkpoint on the other side here. Let's see. No. Well. Well, this time it actually did eat my input. Then I was confused. I don't like that. Maybe it's just a new controller. Because it did jump there, but she didn't even jump. It didn't die because she just ran over to the next platform. But at least this time I can say for sure that it didn't press it too late, right? Because we were still alive, so... Oh, I hate this physics. These physics. I mean, they're cool if you want to go fast. Any ice physics is pretty cool if you want to go fast, usually. But not if you want to move from left to right and stuff. Actually, why do I keep Coco dashing? Pretty sure you can actually get through these spears without them hitting you. But we're not gonna try, even though I do have Aku Aku. Oh. Missed out on some Boompa fruits. A good thing we were coming back, right? Alright, now I think that's the beginning, right? Yeah, okay. So now we just don't want to die. Oh my god. That was a little... That's what I wanted to do. I nearly butt slammed to my death there. Out of pure stupidity. Would have been glorious. Nope! Ouch. I thought I would be a little late there. Then again... That did actually close faster than I thought it would. Hey, there's a checkpoint, we did it, nice. Now we just need to get all of the boxes. Which fortunately isn't as hard as in Crash 4, because there's not a lot of... Actually, I don't think there's any. I mean, in Crash 4 there's so many boxes hidden off screen that you... If you don't know that they are there... Ooh, you're never gonna get them. That's not really the case in any of the old Crash games, as you can see. It's usually pretty straightforward where they are. Where's my mouse cursor? Oh, it's hidden, of course. Oh no, our first time trial of the day. Ugh. Actually, that wasn't so bad so far, so... Oh, it's a Dino chase. It's a Dino chase level, so we are gonna run towards the screen very fast. Yay. Even less time reacting. And of course, every time we... Actually, how am I gonna... Please get out of the way, thank you. So, you know, as you can see, I have a habit of doing the... What's it actually called? Tornado spin? Might be tornado spin, right? Pretty often. Because I'm bad at judging on... on when I need to... time my spins to not get hit by enemies. But the tornado spin actually slows you down, and I got hit because I stepped into lava. Oh. Would you please? Thank you, hop on. I'm not even sure if this is faster than doing the Coco Dash. Well, I guess. Why are you not jumping? What the hell? What was that? I didn't even see that. What the hell was that? I don't think I stepped into something, right? Was it a bug? Does it kind of look like it? So yeah, we want to avoid tornado spinning, actually. Which is a bad habit I need to get rid of. Except for maybe while running through grass. I'm still confused about why I died there. Kinda looked like, since we died... Well, since we got hit while riding the Dino by lava... Whenever we touched the foot... What's with those inputs? What the hell? So delayed. I don't remember if it was the same when we played with the Switch Pro controller, to be honest. Although it would be kind of weird if the Xbox controller had worse controls than Pro Controller, right? Because my Pro Controller was actually mapped through a third-party tool. Well, this one is hooked up to Windows 10 natively, so would be very... Damn it. Is it a... Yeah, okay. So the Dino's gonna smash that 3 seconds anyways. Oh, we did it, nice. Only gold more. But it was also maybe there's some lag at that specific portion of the section of the level, where it just kind of adds the lag on your inputs or whatever. That was a little weird. I mean, you can't see it, but I mean, it was like I pressed the button and for like a second there was nothing happening. So yeah, that was confusing. But only on that specific point there in the level. The rest it was actually pretty good. I don't like the water levels. Those underwater levels are one of the reasons why I like Crash 2 more than Crash 3. Even though they're not as bad as... But actually probably are as bad as other platformers underwater levels. Especially nowadays, there's actually a lot of platformers with good, so to say, underwater levels. Like I think Donkey Kong Country, especially Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, Returns Tropical Freeze, whatever it's called, did a very good job in creating interesting underwater level, and also Rayman Legends, I think it was. Finished grading the UCO test from like 2 weeks ago. You want me to tell him or what? I think he's doing it. Yeah. Don't worry. He's like yeah. He's on it. He's catching up. So don't worry. It's only 2 weeks ago. You're complaining about him being 2 weeks late. Yeah. All right. What are the controls? Somehow can... Oh, there we can speed up, okay. I was looking for the speed up button, and okay, it's already gone. That's when you just randomly speed into the level and don't know what is coming next. I could have gone down there and saved some time. But hey, we only want to do gold, we don't want to do platinum, so... There's an eel on the right side there, and I got eaten by a shark. Actually, why do we have so many mods? That's just... Of course, these are all intentional damage boosts. No, they're not. Just those little knobs on the bottom that start spinning and creating this vortex here that just... I don't know, they just don't look any dangerous, you know? Also, I had a heart. Oh, come on! Ooh, I need to go up there. It kind of feels like, you know, if you would hit the vortex, you would just be sucked towards the bottom. But no, it's actually if you hit it, you get hit immediately, so you immediately take damage. Not only if you hit the bottom. You got me his stream. Actually, I don't even have his stream. I don't. Would you please go down? Whatever. He said he said last week that he would be following my stream. I don't think he has so far. So I also cannot follow his stream. Yeah, let's just damage boost through here. And that's it. Wow, I should have just done that earlier. Wait, we need to get gold, right? Do it again. Wow, this one is really... Actually, this one is really... exhausting on the thumbs. I just hate your underwater levels. That just feels so clunky. Well, let's try again. We do need that gold relic. Which one was it actually? First one? No. Second one probably, yeah. Of course we don't have any of the relics of levels 13 and onwards. So we gotta do quite some time trials over there. Alright, let's see if I manage to keep the Submarine a little longer this time. Nope, I don't. Never mind. Also, I'm not sure if I think mashing is the way, right? Yeah, okay. Let's see if I can skip the cycle. Oh! Well, we cannot skip the cycle when the electricity is right in front of us. Here's a look. Oh, come on! Snipe from the side. I really hate those. Not only do they suck you closer to them, which they didn't do in the original. I think they're also... Actually, I think they could be... have the same frequency of activating. Oh, we got eaten. Nice. Than in the original. I don't know. For some reason, those underwater levels feel a lot worse than in the original, to be honest. Okay, I think... Why don't you go downwards? What the hell? Come on. What was that hitbox on the rotating platform? Oh, this level feels awful. I think it's even... maybe I try with the analog stick. Instead of the D-pad. Oh. I'm not sure if spinning or mashing A is faster, to be honest. I think spinning is faster, right? Ah! Come on, I just want to get over with this level. Would you please go down? What are you doing, stupid submarine? Can't damage boost if you don't have Aku Aku. Why didn't it go down before? Whatever, I don't care. I do care about this one though. That looked a little weird because we kinda like bonked into it and then we just stood there for a second even though we were still spinning, right? It looked a little strange. Okay, now we need to destroy the mine. And then we can boost again. And now boost again. That's pretty okay. That's what we get for ignore. I didn't ignore you. I already told you that he would be catching up with a lot of work that he did earlier. Or what are you talking about? Also, I'm pretty sure that that didn't happen because I ignore you. If you had this power, you would be a very powerful being in this world. And I would be... Underwater controls. Ooh, that was close! We're not dead somehow. Would you please? Why don't you go down? What the hell is wrong with you? Submarine. Ooh, I don't really wanna. Spin those! And now we damage boost. Alright, I think, was it faster? It was faster, nice. Please add me on Steam. Why? Why would I want to add you on Steam? Also, what is that number? Is that just your name? Did you just have a random... Did you just input a random sequence of numbers as your Steam account name? Okay. The Steam friend key? I don't have any friends, especially not on Steam, so I guess you can see, yeah. So, another time trial, yay! Only because you're my biggest fan. Somehow I don't know, I doubt that. Are you the one that got me to play Dark Souls? Okay, that's actually... Okay, then you might actually be right. Wait a second, we just need to be... We need to go fast, we don't need to destroy boxes. My fail. Then again, why do you want to connect on my Steam? I don't really have anything interesting to show on Steam. I think if I just go right in the beginning, there will be no fire, right? Okay. So let's try that again. I'm a little confused about how these cycles are being reset or aren't being reset. Oh, come on. You're collecting course instructors' Steam keys, I see. Okay, I get it. But I would guess that you should be out of courses now anyways, right? So you're not gonna see us anymore anyways. So you... Why did it not bounce up again? So you cannot do anything with the power you gain over knowing our names, or our Steam names or whatever. It's like, what? Mind the gap. It's like with demons, right? Isn't it with demons where it's like if you know their name you have power over them? It's not power. Oh. Yeah, you still got 2 years to go, but no more courses, right? No more e-course, I would say. Like Grievous with his lightsabers. I don't think we're as powerful as lightsabers, though, unfortunately. Also, you haven't defeated us. I think Grievous collects the lightsabers of the Jedis he has defeated, right? So that's a little something different. Usually you bounce back up again there. Why don't you bounce on that crate? In the original you bounce up again there. Also, I'm still not used on perceiving depth in this level, in this game. Now I wanted to say, same issue I had with Crash. Is it the same issue I had with Crash 4? No, I think just with Crash 2. Oh, come on. Because I have to hold down on the right trigger for the dash. And I usually use R1 to do the slide stuff, the crouch stuff. But I don't usually hit the right trigger using my index, my middle finger, but I use my index finger usually. So I need the same finger to double jump, to slide and run fast, and I'm still not used to doing it. Why doesn't the cycle of this flying carpet here reset? Mind the gap, yeah, exactly. 2 years of Yuka? What? Oh, I guess you're one of... Okay, so you're one of the ones with the... that go by the new buildings for Ordnik. I think that they have bosses also into their 3rd year, right? Still weird if not bouncing up there. Ah, well, then we might meet again then. That's what I wanted to do last time. And please don't. Okay. Why is... Okay. Why is my own Nightbot being marked as red? That's interesting. Also, did I jump through the carpets? Oh, okay. Ah, you couldn't do that in the original. And come on! Alright. Oh, this jump physics are weird. I think that's it, right? Okay. Oh, these are actually tough. Wow. It's a lot harder to get gold in... Why is it so much harder to get gold in Crash 3 than it was in Crash 2 and 1? I mean, I do know that you hang from the grades. You're a lot faster when you have invincibility there, but I'm not sure if there was actually three masks in the level. Well, I guess we go again. Oh yeah, maybe I should update my Nightbot at some point, I just realized. So the current streaming schedule isn't up to date, what Nightbot is posting. Oh, come on. Really? Come on. Stop spamming, Nightbot! Oh. I do actually have a delay on Nightbot messages, so why does it keep spamming? That's probably faster than Hang from the Grade. Yeah, I might be... Oh, come on. I might do that after the stream, if you behave. Come on! Just realized they are actually throwing the Molotov cocktails or whatever it is that is lighting up the floor there. Just seems like it doesn't ignite the... Why isn't she double jumping? Come on! Yeah, that's the reason why I was hating on the double jump in Crash 4 so much. Because they never did it when I wanted them to, but they always did when I didn't want them to. Even worse than here. Come on, why can't you sometimes get up there and sometimes not? It's not like I would let go of jump. No. Oh, it's actually comes back before I reached it. That's nice. Maybe I should just go a little faster. Oh, that's the second mask. So actually, maybe there is actually 3 masks. There is. Never mind. Yeah, so having invincibility with the 3rd mask speeds up the great part by a lot. If you get to it. Ah! That was a close one. So the cycles don't reset when we restart the level, I just realized. It's really just... Ah, made it. I wanted to slide there, but as it seems you cannot slide out of the tornado spin. Ah, let me in! Jump! Coco, please! There's a reason why you have to double jump. To use it so you don't die. Ah! It's very weird that she... I didn't see that fire. That's actually pretty bad. Now I won't be able to get invincibility, right? It's weird how she jumps immediately on this blanket there or whatever it is. If she kind of jumps through the sides there. Oh, come on! Oh, so close. Like this. That always throws me off. She just immediately bounces from the blanket instead of having to land on top of it first, like this. Yes, there is double jump in this game, but she just doesn't do it. For reasons unknown to me. That was kinda close. Yes, stay hydrated. I'll do so in just a second. Whenever we die or finish the level. Actually, good clue! Okay, never mind. Cheers. I never drink enough while playing games. Which is probably true for most of us. It's iced tea. It's like, what is it? Volvic peach tea, something like that. Clearly states water. Yeah. Okay, just a second. I also have water. Don't worry. I also have coffee. I need a coffee redeem. Free and better. Well, yeah, you're probably right. Well, it's not completely free, actually, right? I mean, it does cost a little something. At least if you get it from the tap. I don't think we're gonna get invincibility now anyways, so I don't mind getting the mask there. That was weird. Where is my water? Dude, it's 7. Why more coffee? You know, coffee doesn't really have an effect on me anyways. But this is actually water. And also I'm probably gonna be awake for, you know, like, I don't know, 7 more hours or something. Because, aha! I'm on holiday. It's Sunday, right? Yeah. But actually you should be having, you should be on vacation too, right? I think the school year ended. Oh, well, maybe you have to work, huh? I don't know. I don't know if you're from the... Oh, you're saying you have two more years of UCA, so you're probably from the normal apprenticeship, so you probably have to work. Haha, for you. Well, I had my fill of work over the past few months with my bachelor thesis, don't worry. Interesting. Oh, you do have holidays. Well then, drink some coffee, stay awake a little longer and play some more games, like every normal being, right? Oh, come on. Whenever she bounces on the side of those blankets there, she... Come on. Whenever she bounces on the side of those blankets, I never make it to the top. So I'm trying to avoid this, but it doesn't really work. At least not consistently. Like this. That's what I'm trying to do. That was pretty good. Compared to before. You have an operation. You mean surgical operation tomorrow? Oh, that's not good. So what are you... So what are you getting done? Or what is your ailment? Come on. If you even know the English term for it. Well, wish you good luck on your operation then. Even though it doesn't seem like something too complicated, right? So it's probably not gonna be like life-threatening or whatever. I mean, the surgery, of course. But yeah, it does sound... I don't know, is it actually painful or is it just, I don't know, there? Okay. So... why are you having the surgery tomorrow then? Ouch. That sounds pretty severe. Severe, yes. They didn't get any emergency surgery or whatever? Ah, okay. Well, that's... at least some luck then, right? I'm not gonna ask how it came to be, though. I guess that's not something we should be discussing on stream! Okay. Doesn't hurt at the moment. Well, that's good. Can you sleep? Oh, that's something bad to wake up to. Oh my god. Yeah, I can imagine. Depth perception in these Crash games is so difficult, I can tell you. I mean, I guess it's just some weird movement you've been doing while sleeping. Ah, what am I gonna do with this one? Maybe you can jump on a TNT box and then jump over it. Let's try that. Because the problem is if I spin into those, they take 2 spin hits. So you preferably want to slide into them because they are like fly away immediately if you slide into them instead of spinning, right? But you cannot slide into them, of course, when there's TNT right in front of them, so... Ah! I guess we just try jumping on the TNT and then jump over the monkey. I think the worst thing that happened to me during my sleep, which wasn't really a bad thing, was when I think it was like 6 years ago or something, and I was more or less, I wasn't really sleeping. I was more like, you know, like just lying in bed, like not really being awake, but also not really being asleep, if you know that state. And then my girlfriend came into the room, and she thought I was asleep, and she was trying to be, you know, very as silent as possible. And then she kind of hit her, I don't know, her knee or something on the on one of the, what do you call them? Pillars of the bed. Am I faster than last time? Oh yes, we were. And for some reason, even though I did realize that she was in the room already, I kind of like, I was just startled immensely, and I was just like sitting upright in the bed immediately. And for some reason, because I laid weirdly in the bed, I kind of like, I don't know how I strained my shoulder or something, and I was like coming up and was like, ah, and went back down, and I immediately fell asleep again. It was very weird. And she was like, the next morning she was like, what exactly was that? And I was like, my shoulder freaking hurts. And it wasn't really something I didn't like do something severe to my shoulder, but it was just a weird thing that has happened to me so far in my sleep. But yeah, I guess your story is worse, at least the outcome of it. But yeah, it's good that you didn't have to get an emergency surgery. I still hope that it's gonna go well tomorrow. Will there be like oh, what do we need? I think it's time trial, right? This is actually one of the, well, I think this is the hardest race level in Crash 3, if I remember correctly. It's the longest one also. And well, I think Sapphire won't be hard to get, but the Gold Relic, or especially Platinum Relic, will be very hard if you want to get that. Because there is, of course, the, you know, the speed up platforms where you start doing a wheelie, but during the wheelie, Crash controls especially bad. Well, not especially bad, but you cannot really get around corners. And once you let go of the throttle, you'll immediately lose the speed boost here. And of course, the idea is to keep your speed boost for as long as possible. Which isn't really... yeah. First of all, there's some RNG with the contenders here. And then you also need to know exactly how much you need to steer to get around the corners without losing the wheelie, of course. No, my shoulder didn't dislocate. I think it was just a... what's it actually called? You know, like a muscular injury. Yeah, didn't make it around this corner. Not too bad though, since we do have... oh, damn it, there's a hole here. No, it was more than a cramp. It was a Zerrung, you would say in German. I don't really know what the name is in English, to be honest. The best is I don't even know if we need to be get first here. But I guess we're not very fast if we don't get first, right? So... it's funny, I don't even have to get first for the Sapphire Relic, that's interesting. Yeah, strained or something. English. I can talk everyday English pretty well, but whenever it comes to, you know, any technical terms, it's like, whoa. Yeah, but I think I was pretty lucky because I was really, I don't know, yeah, I think it was lucky that it didn't really dislocate there. Please stop dancing, thank you. Hello? Okay, we go again. Well, I don't teach I don't teach in English, so I don't need to know technical IT terms in English. But I'm better in IT terms, of course, in English than I am in medical terms, so can rest assured with that, yes. Don't know how we can get this 2 seconds up there without having to do some weird movement with the one car there. Of course we get slower whenever we get on the brown part of the roadside. So we want to avoid that. Did I need to use English at all at where I work? Well, I do have some co-workers who can't speak German. So yes, and also when I worked for Swisscom, because there were also always some, damn it, co-workers who weren't able to, oh well, you know, I mean, they can also be like guys from French or the Italian parts of Switzerland, right? That was really bad. For which you usually for which you usually fall back on using English to communicate with. So yes, but also there it's, I mean... come on. You don't usually need to know that many specific terms. I almost forgot the hole again in the street. Alright, we're first. Are we actually faster than last time? I think we were also in the 20s, but I don't know if it was like mid-20 or high 20s. Okay, it's cool, that's enough. Also, when I worked as a web developer, I usually more or less worked for myself. I didn't really work on any very large, or well, larger projects where I had to work with other co-workers at the same project. So I usually just had to work on my own stuff, and I only talked to my co-workers during, you know, breaks and stuff, usually. So we weren't really talking about IT stuff that often. Is web dev just HTML, CSS, JS, and PHP? Well, I mean, what do you mean, is there more to it? I mean, you can say programming is just whatever programming language you use. So if you're asking, is there more to it? Well, yes and no, if you can work with the language. I mean, there's, of course, you do have to need a lot of knowledge about, you know, paradigms that are used. You need to be able to handle the frameworks you're using. You need to know what controllers are, what views are, what actions are, etc. So you need to also have some theoretical knowledge about web development, of course. Not only about the programming languages you're using. So that was bad. Also, I was holding the button with the wrong finger again. Why can I not hit the TNT with the enemy I was spinning away? That would have been nice. I think I'm slower in the water, right? So I want to jump while I'm inside the water. How do they manage? Just need to focus for a second, sorry. When you look at websites, they always use weird IDs and classes. How do they come up with those? Those are usually called CSS frameworks. So we usually use a CSS framework, like Bootstrap is a very well-known one. Or for example, for my bachelor thesis we were using Bulma, which is also one. So you don't really come up with those. So they're like called like stuff like column or col9, for example, it's just a framework which, I mean, you can look it up in the internet actually. So CSS frameworks are meant that you can style your HTML basically inside of the HTML code instead of having to write your own custom CSS. Yeah, it's all pre-made. So you can, for example, all of those CSS frameworks usually have like a grid layout where you can say you can have like a random, well, not a random number, but a number as you can have as many columns as you want. Well, at maximum of 12 usually, and then you can say just, okay, this column is now like 3 units long, and the other one is 4 units long, and the last one is 2 units long. And then you just say call 3, call 4, call 2, and the CSS frameworks does all of the styling for you. So it's all pre-made, and you just need to Hey, kitty. And you need to know what you need to do. Yeah, so that's what you're seeing there. Alright, Sphynxinator, we need to get 2 gems and the relic here. Thanks very much. Oh, hey, sneaky little boxes in the beginning here. That was actually purely random that I ran towards the screen here. So I think this one is also one where we have to do one path, destroy all the boxes, then go back and go the other path. But it's not a gem path this time, it's ooh. Okay, never mind. This is a metal box, so there is clearly no boxes to be destroyed over here. Then I think this is the one that I said before where there is the blue gem path. Pretty sure now. And we just couldn't do it because, of course, we didn't have the blue gem, we just got it today, so... That's probably the reason why we don't have any of those gems yet. Wow, you really can't see the red color of the TNT boxes in the lighting of these Egyptian levels, Egyptian themed levels. Fortunately, there's also TNT written on front of the boxes, so haha, that helps, I guess. There we go. It looks the exact same. If they wouldn't blink, it's really kind of difficult to realize they're TNT. Let's wait for them to explode. I guess they would still count when they explode while I'm already riding the gem platform, but I don't want to take the risk. Okay, I'm not sure if there is... Okay, there seems to be no boxes up here. Indicated by the fact that we also had a metal checkpoint there. And we're dead. So, why didn't we get all of the boxes the first time? Huh. Maybe we just missed some. Darn, I shouldn't have gotten the checkpoints then. Because of course, if you die when you already got the gem or a crystal or anything in the classic Crash games, you still keep the gem in your inventory. So we could have just gotten the gem and then death swapped back to beginning, or well, the last checkpoint in the normal level. Come on, let me in. Thank you. But since I did get the checkpoint, we need to do it all over again. Well, it wasn't that long anyway, so that isn't too bad. Let's get some more iced tea. I still don't really get why we didn't get all of the boxes then. Maybe it was just too bad. Happens. Actually, happens a lot of the time. Oh, don't forget the... Oh, that's... I probably didn't get those 4, right? That might actually be the case. When I played through the story. Hiding boxes to the front of the starting area is one of the few hiding spots off screen that even the classic Crash games did. Obviously, as you can see. But they're not as bad, because once you know it, you just check at the beginning of more or less every level, right? Coco, hello? Well, I guess her people needed her. I also sometimes think that Coco's death animations aren't as polished as Crash's. Well, I mean, I haven't really played a lot as Crash while we played the N.Sane Trilogy, right? Because I do prefer female characters while playing basically any games. But the original Crash games had very funny and very highly polished death animations for every different death you could achieve, so to say, with Crash. I'm not entirely sure how many of them they carried over to the remake, to the remakes. But they are for sure less for Coco, which is a shame. Although it might, of course, also be it might be a gender thing as well, right? Because, for example, when Crash... I'm not sure if it is also in Crash 3, but if Crash dies due to Nitro or TNT in Crash 2... No, actually, I think it's Crash 3. When he dies to Nitro or TNT Crash 3... he's like just blown to bits and you only see his underpants. I think he's like... he just flies upwards. Or just explodes upwards or something. And then you see his underpants coming down again. No, not alive! Alright. And they probably thought like, well, it would be... I don't know. They probably didn't want to do that with, you know, Coco's underwear, I don't know. Which is really a shame. Not because of that, it's just like, you know, nowadays with all of the gender discussions, it's actually kind of sad that it's like... that female and male characters are still treated differently. Also, I don't... Whoa! Also, I'm not sure what feminists would say about it, to be honest. You know, like, if it's like, whenever they're like, yeah, equality and, I don't know, whatever. For all genders. Which is something I absolutely support, don't get me wrong. But then, Why can we have Crash pull crystals and gems out of ours, but we cannot have Coco do that? Right? I mean, that's still just some gender perception that we probably should get rid of if we really want to have total equality and everything. Would you please open? Oh, I need to open you, sorry. I nearly ran into the door there. I mean, of course I understand that it's a, you know, delicate topic. Especially considered that Coco is probably pretty young at this point in the games, right? Although I don't know how old she is in Crash 3. Or was in Crash 3 canonically, I have no idea. But still, it's just... Why does nobody care if it's done with a male character, but when it's a female character... Ooh. Yeah, whatever. I mean, nobody gets off on seeing Crash's boxer shorts, right? Do they? I think they even have hearts on them or something. I don't really remember. Maybe you can look it up on YouTube. Like, I don't know, Crash death animation explosion or something. Oh yes, I think it was on the bear, right? When he was riding the small polar bear and ran into TNT. Then his underwear would fall down from the sky and land on the head of the polar bear, I think. Now imagine that with, you know, Coco's panties or whatever. And suddenly it has a, you know, like an erotic undertone, I don't know. Just because it's a female character. At least that's what I guess would be the reason why they wouldn't do that with Coco. Or also why they wouldn't have her, you know, pull gems or whatever out of her claws. Let me through! Thank you. I mean, again, I absolutely see the point why you wouldn't be doing that. But that's exactly the problem, right? The gender perception on this. It's also the same way, like, feminists are like, they want to be able to walk around topless without it being perceived as sexual. Which is something I can absolutely understand. As I said before, if men can do it, why shouldn't women be allowed to do it? Come on! I accidentally hit the R1 button. But yeah, I mean, men are just men, right? And if you see boobies, we're like, ugh. So I don't know if that's ever gonna happen. Probably not gonna say ever. Maybe at some point we will be able to change your perception of genders. In that regard. That's already it, right? The older games levels are so short. I mean, if you compare this to any Crash 4 levels... Ooh. They're like a third of Crash 4 level, whatever. Most of the Crash 4 levels. Well, actually, I think, you know, if you have a beautiful man, you know, like a muscular beautiful man who would be perceived as very handsome by women, or any other gender or whatever, they are still allowed to walk around topless, so... Yeah, why don't we allow it for female? It's actually for females. I don't know. I'm not making the rules, unfortunately. No, actually, fortunately, I wouldn't want to make rules nowadays. Oof. Well, I mean, some of them. I wouldn't mind making some rules. Okay, I think... Wait, what button? Okay. No! Did I get it? Do I have to act... Wow, okay. So the stopwatch is the first thing I need to shoot for it to be activating, okay. Yeah, so this one is a little... This one is a little weird, of course, because we have to shoot down all of the blimps. And that's also what we have to do in time trial. We really just shoot down the blimps as fast as possible. I'm not even sure if any of the boxes turn into time boxes, to be honest. Hi. So no idea if that does us, if shooting down boxes does us anything. Of course, we can kind of avoid getting shot by the other planes by, well, either by shooting down or we can also. Oh, that's how we do a barrel roll. So you can do a barrel roll, which will have us go invincible for a few frames, as you saw right there. But you can also just like. Move the screen away, move the camera away from them, and they will not shoot at you. Because they only shoot at you when they come from the front, right? So that's why I, went from left to right, to left again in the beginning. Wow! We cannot fly faster, so as far as I know. I don't know, maybe spinning actually, maybe doing a barrel roll actually speeds us up, I don't know. Huh. That didn't feel that slow. I'm not confused of not getting platinum, although I'm thinking now, oh my god, how hard is it to get platinum here? I mean, I didn't really have a look at the boxes. Maybe the boxes did actually turn into second boxes. Or minute boxes, or whatever you want to call them. I don't actually know what the widely accepted term for those is. But how are you gonna do that much faster? Maybe just go from right to left or something. I don't think any of those boxes changed, right? I'm not sure if doing a full circle would be faster than go to this one now. Might be faster. Because of course, as you can see, we have a certain reach on our range on our shots. I think that was 4 seconds faster or something, right? I think we were in the 38s last try, so maybe that's already enough. Yeah, okay. Gold is good enough. We don't care about platinum right now. What time do we actually have? It's 7:45 PM. I guess we go for another 45 minutes. Actually, maybe we just finish it. Oh well, okay, so this is the penultimate warp room, right? It's kind of funny how fast they go by when you're just talking. I didn't realize we were already that far into the game. But there is, of course, I think 2 or 3 more levels in an extra warp room. Well, we'll see. If we keep on going with that speed, maybe we just finish it today and then start playing Orient Blind Forest next time. Now, I've already said when we played through the story here, actually I love those levels. I really love those levels on the original, but I hate them on the remake because of how the jet ski drifts around corners after you accelerate it. Which it didn't do in the original. In the original, the controls of the jet ski were very crisp. But here it's just horrible, so I really don't like them in the remake, unfortunately, because yeah, they were some of my favorite levels in the original, so... And it just felt faster than here, I don't know. I mean, it for sure isn't faster, but it felt faster. Is it the... No, this isn't the first jet ski level. I think it's the second jet ski level, right? But we already did the first one. But we already did the gem and the time trial relics of the first one in our casual... Well, it's still a casual playthrough, don't get me wrong. In our story playthrough. Yeah, just more or less intentional damage boost there. I was hoping to get past the shark. But I probably wouldn't have... Damn it. Probably wouldn't have made it past the boat anyways. I was hoping for the bomb there to drift a little further, a little faster. Which it obviously didn't do, unfortunately. Controls are so weird. That was a close one. Why? Why did you have to read those levels for me? Yeah, so next time when we will be playing Crash 1 to 3, of course, next time the next time I'll be playing Crash 4, I'll probably do be any percent speedrunning it. Although I still will be very bad at it, so don't get your hopes up too soon. What? You already left the box? Usually, as far as I know, if you run into the box while the seagull is still sitting on it, then it hits you, but it shouldn't hit you if it leaves the box before you run into it, so that had me confused. Yeah, I really want to play the originals again. At some point. So that I can, like, refresh my memory on if everything that I'm claiming as that was different in the original really was different, or if it's just my memory that's being very foggy. It's so difficult to steer past those. I mean, I'm steering the opposite direction that I want to have my jet ski positioned in sometimes. Because of the drifting. It has heavy oversteer, that's the word I was looking for. Jet ski oversteers heavily. And I think it didn't do that in the original. But again, I might be wrong with that. Which is why I would love to play the originals again. I don't think the other path is faster. I don't know. I guess it's just the same, probably. So we just keep to the left. I still have my PS2. So that wouldn't be a problem in playing the originals, because of course the PS2 is backwards compatible. I can play any PS1 game I want on it. And I still have the original games. Although I don't have a mask anymore. I thought I had another mask. Yeah, although of course, since all of the original Crash games are CD-ROMs, and they're pretty old, I mean they're like 30? Yeah, they're 30 years old, oh my god. Roughly. Yeah, so they might have scratches and stuff. That makes it difficult for them to still be played. Why? Weird. But of course the original PS2 only had a SCART. Well, not SCART, but a... what's it called? Component output. And no HDMI or whatever. I mean, there might be... What I tried to say is I would have to buy another hardware component, like a component to HDMI adapter or whatever. Also, I would love to have an upscaler, of course, because the original... Playing the original game with the original graphics is already bad enough, right? But doing so without... with the original resolution... Ugh. Come on, that didn't hit me. Yeah, so at least an HDMI upscaler would be nice. And I was looking for a for a capture card. Of course, currently this one is on the Steam version of the game, so I'm playing on PC. But of course, we played Kirby and the Forgotten Land on Switch, so I bought myself a capture card, but it only has HDMI inputs. I was trying to find one that also supports Component or SCART or whatever, to also be able to plug in my old PS2 or whatever when I wanted to. But I didn't really find one that would support both HDMI and Component. So I just settled for the HDMI for now. And at some point we might have to get a component to HDMI adapter or upscaler or whatever. Yeah, I did already spend quite some money on this hobby of mine. But I mean, that's the same with all hobbies, right? I mean, if you like biking or whatever, if you go trail biking, you probably spend more on a good mountain bike than I would ever do on any of my technical equipment for this. I mean, I still have pretty cheap stuff compared to what you can get, right? My camera kind of like cost like I think it was less than $100. And also my microphone is actually a pretty cheap one. Let me get this mask this time. I mean, it's a good mic. I think it's a very good mic, especially for the price, for its price. Close. But there's just so much more expensive stuff out there. That I guess you can still call it cheap. But yeah, I don't need professional equipment, right? It's really just a hobby for me, for now. Maybe that changes at some point. I don't really think so, though. But who knows? Yay, gold, first try. Well, it wasn't a one-shot Johnson, but it was the first time you got to the finish that we got gold. That's what I'm trying to say. I really hope I can do get a regular schedule of editing videos. I have such a huge backlog of videos that I want to do for YouTube. You know, like cut my streams into watchable bits and bytes. Well, bits, not bytes. So yeah, I hope for the next I think it's 6 weeks that I actually have until I need to have another course. I need to work again. Let's say it like that. So basically, like a student's summer holiday is what I'm having currently. I really want to do. I mean, when I started streaming, oh well, you know, let's say the previous iteration of me streaming, or whatever I want to call it. Oh yeah, I completely forgot that we have the bazooka. Probably gonna need it in this level at some point. Maybe not. I think you don't really have it at this point. But maybe that's why we didn't get any of the... Isn't there like a secret entrance to this level? Let me check that. I'm not sure if it's this one or the next future level. But I think one of them has a secret entrance in the additional... I might be wrong, of course. But I think that's how you get the... Damn it. I think that's how you get the additional gem. I'm not sure if it is like a... It might actually be... It might also be the green gem. Oh yeah. I think in one of the future levels there's like a green gem path. That like takes you from the end of the level back to the beginning of the level or something like that. It might actually be that. And then we just didn't have the green gem when we did it for the story. That's a separate level. We already did this one. Wait, we only have... You only have Sapphire here, really? Wow, I didn't have a look at all of the levels, I just realized. Okay, so we do... Yeah, okay, so we do have to go back to some of the earlier levels and do the time trials again. Yeah, there, Future Frenzy, okay. So I don't need to try to do this without going in from here, of course. So we need to go in through the secret entrance to be able to get all of the boxes and the additional gems, so we're gonna skip that level for now. Until we have 20... Well, we can do the time trial, right? We only need 2 more relics anyways, and then we can do it, so yeah, let's just do that. Yeah, we're probably not gonna finish this today, I don't think so. So, I guess next Sunday we will be finishing up with Crash 3, and then probably start... Well, it will either be a relatively short stream, or we will be starting Ori right afterwards. I see. I didn't want to double jump there. Why did you double jump? I wanted to try to jump over the lasers because I was pretty sure that they would. Okay, you can. Maybe you can. Let's try one more time. I didn't really get it. Okay, you can jump over the lasers, but it's... I'm not sure if those 1 seconds are actually worth it, to be honest. Oh. Didn't need to jump over them there. I'm never sure if I can just, you know, try running through it, or if I have to jump over it. Probably not worth getting all of them. Ah, close. Alright, there we go. Of course we'll play Ori and the Blind Forest. Ew, why is she bouncing like that? Interesting. On Switch again. So after finishing up with Crash, we will have to switch to my... Ah, too bad. Capture card. We could have had invincibility here. Why did that hit me? Interesting. Maybe it just activated its shields. Then I ran into it. Could have just jumped over it. Could have just jumped over it probably there. Ah, thanks RNG for having the Nitro jump at the exact same moment. Yeah, of course, Nitro in all of the Crash games just randomly hops, as you can see, at some points. And it does... Well, okay. I'll take it. Don't mind me! Didn't feel that fast, but okay. And yeah, also the height of the hop is kinda random, I think. I'm not sure if there is like a low hop and a high hop, or if it's seamless. But yeah, that was a high hop, as you have seen. Very unlucky, but who cares? Alright, one more time trial, and then we can get the 2 gems in Future Frenzy. And... Not sure if we should be calling it a day then, even though it hasn't been that long today. I wanted to start on 5 PM, but it was a little too early for me, to be honest. So we went for 6 PM. I'm still not entirely sure when I will be starting in the future. What will be the... you know, the default starting time. If it will be 5 PM or 6 PM or whatever. Of course it has originally been 7 PM, but that's a little too late for me nowadays, I have to say. I mean, the idea behind, of course, was to also have, you know, at least some... Thanks for the hop. To at least have a time where some potential overseas viewers might also... Why do we have such a stupid bad cycle? I'd have the chance to also watch. But yeah, who cares about them? Oh, no, no, not who cares about them, but I mean, there's probably not really any overseas viewers anyways, so whatever. And the idea was also to have me, you know, be able to stream after work hours. But I'm not really doing that anyways. I'm just too exhausted after work days. You know, after teaching days. For me to still be streaming afterwards, so in the future I probably just won't be doing any streams on days I have worked on. Oh, that wasn't worth it. I thought it would be moving a lot faster again than it actually was, unfortunately. As of course you can see, this level is basically an auto-scroller because of all of the water. So you want to really get as much movement in while the water is down, or you want to jump over the water if possible. Which is possible in a lot of instances, but not all of them. Also, I think we can get a better cycle if we wait a little longer here, right? There we go. Although I do kind of like the water being up there in the beginning. I didn't want to spin because, of course, if I spin into the TNT, it just explodes me. I think we can just go immediately, because we can easily go over this spot anyways, right? Just bouncing on the boxes or landing on the platform, the floating platform. Then we don't have to wait here. Using the tornado spin. But I don't think we can do anything here, we just have to wait. Which kinda sucks. I would really like to not die there. I would really like to get the mask there. Maybe we can just get it with a quick jump. That rose a little earlier than I hoped it would. So far, by the way, I think the D-pad of the controller I'm using now is a lot better than the one of the Switch Pro controller. At least it didn't feel like it would input anything else than I wanted to so far. So... oh yeah, I wanted to get the mask, I forgot. Come on! So I guess we achieved the goal that I had in mind when buying this controller. Funny thing is, the most I use a controller for... what do I want to say? I'm not often using a controller while playing games on the PC. Because I'm just so used to using keyboard and mouse for most of the games I play. Even for I started playing Horizon Zero Dawn the other day. And I did like, I mean, you can really feel that the movement is probably optimized for controllers, right? With that game. But shooting with a bow is just seems to be such a center part of the whole game. that I'm still using keyboard and mouse, because I just think it's aiming with any ranged weapon, whenever you have a crosshair. Aiming with a control stick is just, I don't know, nothing I ever want to do in my life. Ooh, that's gonna be close! Okay, we did it. No problem, no issues, no panic. I guess we have to wait here for a second. Or maybe not. Don't fall into the nitro. Oh, that's it, that's it. Come on. Gold, please, please, gold. I don't want to do it again. Yes. So yeah, I'm probably still gonna play Horizon Zero Dawn using the mouse and keyboard. Even though it really feels really weird to do so. Yeah. But just aiming with the mouse, it just feels just so much better. Yeah, I know that there's like this aim assistance or whatever. I didn't really try it out. It was the first thing that it disabled in the game. Because I know whenever I have to target something, I do it with the mouse. So yeah, I mean FPS, of course. Well, not FPS, but first-person game in general, I always play with keyboard and mouse. Third-person games is a little different. It kind of depends on how responsive the movements of the character is and how realistic they are and stuff. So for most of the action RPGs where it is optimized for controllers, you have like realistic movements where, you know, the character kind of has to accelerate first and they have to slow down when they change direction or something. That feels really weird when you do it on a keyboard, right? So these are what I call controller optimized movements. And Horizon Zero Dawn seems to be one of those games. So it really feels a lot more natural to play with a controller than with mouse and keyboard. But just the aiming thing, and you really have to be pretty precise, which was what I was a little surprised by. Well, as I said, I guess there is this aim assistance, which I don't really know what it does. Maybe it just kind of like locks the crosshair into place when you're close to it or whatever, what you want to shoot at. But that's just not really what I want to do. It's just, I don't know, it feels wrong. So I rather play it with keyboard and mouse, yeah. So, what I wanted to say is, I don't play that many games using a controller. And the one game I always play with controller, of course, is when I play Ocarina of Time Randomizer. Which I'm still currently doing like once a week, together with Mongon usually. Shout out to Mongon. And I'm still using my old Switch Pro controller there, even though I have this beautiful new controller, for various reasons. First of all, because I cannot... Oh well, I guess I don't know, maybe I do need to get another third-party tool. Maybe I do need to get another third-party tool to map this native controller on Windows differently than I wanted to. Because, yeah, for some reason I cannot map the... Well, first of all, it has less buttons in the center than a Switch Pro controller. It only has 2, while the Switch Pro controller has 4. You probably don't see it, never mind. So while I can easily map 2 of the center buttons on the Switch Pro controller to start and select, when I'm playing an N64 game, of course, and then still have 2 buttons for, you know, push to mute and mute microphone, which is what I usually have on my controller. That doesn't work for this controller, which is a bummer, which is why I always need to let go of my controller whenever I'm coughing, as I said in the beginning of the stream. And now I think we get to the beginning of the level, right? Maybe we even not need to backtrack. Oh no, I think we're pretty far into the level, and now we need to go to the end of the level, and then there will be the green gem that takes us to a special part, and then back to the beginning or something. Because I don't think... Do I just need to go back here? I just go on further in for now. I'm not sure if the green gem section is in this level or in the other future level. I'm not that far into the level, so I could be going back. But I'm pretty sure that in one of the future levels there is a green gem section that takes you back to the beginning in the end, so... Maybe it's this one. let's hope so. Fingers crossed. Yeah, so I actually haven't used my beautiful new Xbox controllers that much. Oh, I guess I did use it for Monster Hunter now that I think about it. I wanted to look smart and not do the tornado spin, but I probably should have just done the tornado spin as is indicated in the background, then I wouldn't have looked stupid. Yeah, but I also still use the Switch controller, for example, because I'm not exactly sure if the Switch Pro controller does actually have notches on the analog stick. I don't think so, but it kind of feels like it. It's a lot easier to do precise directions input using the Switch Pro controller than using the Xbox Elite controller, I realized. Which is important for some skips that we're doing in OOT randomizer. Why did those not explode? They probably didn't. Maybe they didn't explode before we jumped onto the bounce round. No, we did finish this. Now I realize we did finish the level last time, right? Because of course we were doing the time trial. And I'm pretty sure there wasn't a green gem in the end, so I'm probably wrong and I probably have to do it again. And then backtrack after doing the secret, yeah, damn it. Well, whatever, we're gonna do it again. So then it's actually the other future level that has the green gem part. Yeah, yeah, but we're for sure not gonna finish this today. Fortunately, so I think we're just gonna finish this warp room, meaning that we're doing Future Frenzy one more time, getting the all boxes gem, and then we're gonna call it a day. Yeah, I really need to get back into it. It's a little. It's been so long since I've last streamed before, you know, last time. Need to go get back into the groove. So. Was still a nice stream. Yeah, I'm still not sure if I'm gonna do 6 PM or 5 PM next week. I was really tired today. I was really tired the whole weekend, to be honest. Which was one of the reasons why 5 PM was just too early for me today. But I'm not sure if it will be like that every Sunday or just today. So yeah. I think we might give 6 PM a try, and then just do 6 to 8:30. It's only 2.5 hours though. I think we'll start with 2.5 hours for now. I have so many videos, so much material that I need to edit into YouTube videos. So a little less stream time and more edit time might be pretty handy to catch up on that. Oh yeah, I also thought about, which is why you cannot see me play Horizon Zero Dawn live. I also kind of want to do, you know, direct to DVD, no, direct to YouTube videos. So I am playing Horizon Zero Dawn. I am recording it, but I'm not doing it live. So I also want to do some games that I just play whenever I feel to, and then I just record it, and it will be on YouTube at some point, like we did with, well, not really like we did with Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker, which is what I want to finish next on YouTube finally. Because of course we did play some Endwalker on stream. Not sure if I wanted to get this now or nah, let's get it now when I come back here. We did play some Endwalker on stream, but also a lot of it off stream because, you know, I didn't want to play 10 hours on stream every day, especially because I was ill at the time. Okay. Yeah, so unfortunately, it's not like I can say, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not all of the YouTube videos are up yet. I'm not finished with the series yet, but you can still have always have a watch at the streams, right? Haha, no, I cannot say that because of course you cannot see everything on the streams. I think I don't even have any of the streams up there, so yeah. I didn't archive them, that's what I'm trying to say. I think we should be right at the beginning now, right? One more? Two more? That's the beginning of the level, right? Yeah, okay. But I actually kind of like that, to be honest, because whenever I have to, when I am streaming, it's always a little. I mean, it takes a lot more time for me to prepare and also to be mentally prepared and to not be tired while being on stream and whatever, than just the time I'm actually on air, right? Which isn't the case when I'm just recording for myself, and I can just, you know, start up the game, plug in, let's go whenever I want. I don't need to have a schedule or whatever. So instead of having like 3 stream... I mean, of course we might at some point go back up to 3 streaming days again or whatever. You never know what the future brings, right? But for now I just wanna keep it on 2 days a week. But I also wanna do some... I still don't have a mask. Ugh. Oh, there's a checkpoint, nice, okay. But instead I just want to do some of the games off stream and just record it and then edit it into a video series, and you can watch it on YouTube instead of Twitch. Might also be a little promotion for my YouTube channel, right? You know, if there is like YouTube exclusive content. But yeah, you know, a lot of plans. We'll see how it turns out. But yeah, first, most important thing for me now is to keep a regular schedule of actually editing videos, and also tone down on how much time I need to finish a single video, so that we can catch up a little. Because I mean, I still haven't. We're still not finished with Humankind, which was the very first game I played on stream, right? Yeah, I think so. Except for Ocarina of Time, I think. I think Ocarina of Time and Humankind were the very first ones. Apart from Ocarina of Time Randomizer, of course. Yeah, okay. Which I also haven't finished yet. I also have my Suitor 101 series, which I still want to finish, even though I don't really like the source material for that one that much. But yeah. That was a close one. So yeah, I want to do more editing and less streaming, unfortunately. Catch up with the streams. But I mean, yeah. At least compared to what we did before the break. But it might change. I mean, once I'm playing Elden Ring or whatever, I'm probably gonna be intrigued by the game, immersed into the game so much that I'm gonna do, I don't know, 7-hour streams again, like we did for Dark Souls in the end, right? Where I just couldn't stop playing because it was too good. Maybe that happens again, and then maybe I change my mind again, or maybe I... Oh! That was a butt clencher right at the end. Yeah, alright. So, unfortunately, that's already it for today. Have a nice Sunday evening, have a nice start into your week, and stay healthy, everyone. Bye-bye.